Well, Greg, here we are in the studio of the Victorian Artists Society. Greg, you're the immediate past president. This place has been going for well over 100 years for artists. Can you tell us why it's so important?
Oh, it's very significant to certainly the history of Australian art, because it's probably one of the foundation societies, certainly in terms of art groups. But from a school environment, the National Gallery School, a lot of the members who ran that in the late 1800s, they were the instigators of the establishment of the society. And here we are today sitting in this studio that's probably close on 140 years old, and so it's very significant from the education of Australian artists.
And it hasn't changed much either, has it, Greg? The floorboards are still the same. I think some of those easels are still the same.
Yeah, I think the attitude to art has changed a little bit over the years, but the need for good, solid training has never really changed. And so the beauty of the Victorian Artists Society of today is we have, in recent years, created a lot more education in terms of various programs, workshops. But this studio now is just constantly being used. I think it's over 15 classes in a week now of individual teachers.
And there is a mix of ages of people who come to our classes. So it's not all over 50s or over 60s, but there's a mixture of young people, older people, and it's a very social environment.
Sociable outside the class. Certain classes do have a bit more of a social activity to them, but it's the discipline of certain classes that is still a very important part of it. There's so many different art groups out and about, but we're very fortunate to have very good standard teachers nowadays, and there is an environment in a building that has got such a proud history of great Australian artists. The environment of this studio alone is a big thrill for a lot of the students who, once they recognise who's painted in here, it does inspire them a little bit. But we do cater for everybody. We have, generally we're not dealing with teenage students, but I do have quite a few university students myself, and people who've been retired for many, many years who have just discovered the chance to follow their dream and their passion, and here they are, late 80s even, coming in to do the regular class.
And of course the big highlight is every year we have a students' exhibition and teachers together.
Yes, we do, and I think if nothing else the students can be very critical of the teachers, and but in another sense the teachers become the promotional tool, displaying their own work, and that does attract the students. A lot of the students might do a year or two with one teacher and then swap over to another until they find their way and what their particular medium is that they favour. So the fact that we have such a variety of different style of classes too gives the students a pretty big kaleidoscope of choices.
And of course the history, as you mentioned when you mentioned the names, Arthur Streeton, for instance, Freddie McCubbin, and those sorts of names, that we are now within the walls of where those people learnt and did their painting and instructed. And if only these walls could talk. But
well, probably just as well they can't. But we have had some very important art teachers since their time too.
Yes.
And dropping names isn't the issue, it's the result of the quality of the teaching that's really important. But what is the big thrill is we've watched some of these students who started here. I'm very fortunate that I started as a student here back in the early 80s, and here I am, immediate past president, having now running my 35th solo show. Now I still can't believe that, but that's all because of this society. And the encouragement that all the members give each other is quite unique. Very little competitive nature, and I think that's very important. And through the school, the students can grow, they can meet professional painters, they can develop, they've got the opportunity to hire gallery space and follow a dream and even have their own solo shows.
And Greg, thank you very much for that wonderful insight of all your many, many years here and your great input as the President of the Council.
Thank you, Ron. Thank you.